Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the very first episode of the CSPN podcast, the podcast that brings you all things Chaminade related. I'm Kevin Kuehl, and I have Cooper Benedict alongside me.
And how we doing, guys?
How we doing? Feeling good. Both excited about this. We've been wanting to do it for a while, and now we're finally doing it.
It's something new and fresh. I mean, there's never really been a podcast at Chaminade for Chaminade sports, but we're excited to give it to you. We're just going to be kind of touching on everything and anything Chaminade sports, just in school, outside of school, whatever it is.
Yeah, not just sports, but also, if there's something academics related, something charity related, anything to do with Chaminade we'll be covering, and we're looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be nice bringing you guys a weekly update, not just on a sports broadcast, but, also over something like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think first thing we do, let's jump in and recap the fall sports a little bit.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with the football team. So the football team opened up their season with a resounding victory over the Vianney Griffins. The season was delayed due to COVID-19. So seeing a victory like that to start the year was awesome, and the team looked good.
Yeah, I agree. The football team this year really was, they said maybe they were going to be lacking the seniors and like their superstar players like they had last year, but came out and had a great season, really 4-1 in the regular, 4-1 in the regular season, only one loss the season before going into Jackson, and they played hard all year.
Yeah, I know, and someone we want to highlight is the quarterback Cameron Epps. It was his first year playing quarterback, at least for Chaminade. I'm not sure. I'm sure it wasn't his first time in his career, but for Chaminade, and he wasn't just playing quarterback, but he was filling in the shoes of Brady Cook, the 3-year starter who's now playing D1 football in the SEC. So that's not a very easy thing to come and fill in for.
Yeah, that's no joke there, coming in and filling in for a guy like Brady Cook. I mean, Brady plays snaps at Mizzou, and at SEC football, that's as good as it gets. So for Cam to come in as a defensive back, he's a 3-star recruit at defensive back. For him to come in and play at the level he did at quarterback this season was, truly astonishing.
Yeah, it really was. And, like you said, he's not only a quarterback, defensive back is his main position. And, the defense this year was kind of the highlight, I think. Every game that me and you broadcasted, we were always talking about the defense. The defense was always playing exceptionally well. You got guys like Grant Finley, Jimmy Lansing, obviously Cam Epps, and a lot of young guys, Nick Davis, there's another one, a lot of young guys who stepped up this year and really made an impact.
Yeah, we had 2 superstar players make all team first district this year. Obviously Cam at defensive back, who's so solid out there, and also Grant Finley, 2 juniors, so that's good to see going forward to next year.
Yeah, I know, very young team, and also we do also want to take a moment to say sorry to Grant about his injury. That was really heartbreaking at the end of the year to see that happen to such a great player. So we're rooting for you, hoping you come back next year. But yeah,
Finley is a stud off the edge.
He's a stud, man. There was several games where he would make these big hits, and me and you would just kind of look at each other like, oh my god.
Yeah, the way he tackled, it was different than what you usually see. So that was cool to see. But let's go to the other side of the ball. Let's go to the offense.
Offense, yeah.
The offense really moved the ball nicely this year with star players like Elijah Griffin at receiver, Teddy Sudacum at receiver, and then, of course, the superstar, Amar Johnson.
Yeah, Amar Johnson, the D1, the future Jackrabbit, the guy who put up the most touchdowns for the Red Devils. He had an exceptionally well year. He was unstoppable out there.
Yeah, he was so good this year. All-state first team. He was actually voted by his teammates and the Chaminade football program as the 2020 most valuable player. And it's rewarded to the most integral part of the overall success of the team. And Amar did it at running back, defensive back, and special teams player as well.
No, he's so good, dude. And the weird thing is that I think he's better than the recognition he gets. When I look his name up and you look at 24/7 Sports, he's not even ranked, and I think that's kind of weird because he dominated every single, not just MCC team, but every team that we played pretty much. And Missouri's a pretty good football state, so I think it's kind of crazy that he doesn't have the more recognition, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. There's something about Amar. on 24/7 Sports, I have him at 5'9", so he's gonna look undersized to these college coaches. But obviously, the COVID year was tough for recruiters to come and watch him play. But it's not even about size for him. He's so explosive with the ball in his hands. He's one of those guys that you give it to him, and there's a chance that it's going to break big every single time he touches it.
I remember against Ladue, actually. You remember this. He, had the ball at the 30-yard, Chaminade's own 30-yard line, and he started running. And one hit, stay on his feet, two hits, stay on his feet. And he kept going all the way for a touchdown, a 70-yard touchdown. And that just, I've not stopped thinking about that since that play. I'm like, that is actually crazy that he was able to do that.
I mean, against Ladue, he had 250 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, he's a workhorse too. I mean, he got the ball 31 times that game, just carrying it. And 34 touches total with his 2 receptions, but not only running it, I mean, he's a dual threat guy too. I mean, he had a 7-catch game versus CBC and then multiple 3-catch games this year as well, as he had 21 receptions on the season.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see him play next year. South Dakota, obviously a good program, and
one of the best at that level, one
FCS,
of the best.
Yeah, one of the best. I'm curious to see what his workload there is going to be like. Is he going to come in, get reps right away? Do you think they're going to take a year to have him develop a little bit? And
I agree.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, but coming off his monster season, had over 1,000 yards of total yardage in only 6 games played, which is unreal to think about. His best game against Ladue with those 272 yards total and 3 touchdowns. So going off that, I think we should move in to the soccer team.
Soccer team, yeah. Great year for soccer as always. Coach Vader and Coach Sartori and, obviously Mo. Always put together a good run, a good team. Obviously this year, a lot of guys on the team that got honors. You have Sean Green. Actually, let's first talk about the other awards, then we'll talk about Sean Green. But, a lot of guys getting MCC first team. Sean, Evan, Quinn, and Mick Hannon all getting the first team MCC.
Cool, thank you. All seniors, too.
All seniors,
This was a team completely led by seniors.
Completely senior-led. And then, MCC second team, Hip-skinned, or Hippie, Harry Hippie, Cole Ross, and then obviously Jack Olwick got honorable MCC. And then also all-region, Mick, Quinn, and Sean got all-region, and Vader got a private schools coach of the year for all-region. But the big one that I think when we saw all of us were completely blown away and impressed by is that Sean Green got named an All-American by the U.S. What was it?
The U.S.
USYS or something like that.
Yeah. And I think Sean a little bit kind of can compare to Amar. Unbelievable players who may not get the publicity that they deserve. Sean hasn't committed anywhere, doesn't have any crazy offers, but he is unreal.
Oh, I was the soccer manager, so I got to watch him play, firsthand this year. And when he gets the ball, it's something happens. It's just he makes something happen always. He'll find the open guy. He'll make a run to the net and shoot and score, get an assist. He always seems to make a play happen. So in control. And it's just awesome to see him be All-American, because I remember last year. There was a player at the Smed who got All-American, and I was thinking, wow, how cool would that be if a guy that we're friends with had that happen, and now it happened. So, that's awesome to see, and it's really cool.
Yeah, so cool. Sean, such a leader out there, too. All good things from Sean this season. Had a great year and a great career as a Chaminade Red Devil in soccer. And next up, Joseph Hipskin committing to Wash U. Amazing. So cool to hear.
Amazing, yeah. He deserves it. He's always been one of the go-to guys on the team. He can get past any defender on the field. It's like if he wants to get past a guy, the defender has no chance. He'll get past them. Going to Wash U, not just a good soccer school, but also one of the best academic schools in the country.
Yeah.
That's something that Coach Sartori and Vader, value very highly on the varsity soccer team is academics. The team consistently having a 90 or above GPA. So it's, obviously, congrats to Hipskin on that. He deserves it.
Just kind of goes. He's worked so hard too. He actually played club, obviously his entire life, and then moved on and played Chaminade in high school, which was so cool, or his sophomore year, which was so cool.
But before we move on, sorry, one more thing. But we forgot to actually talk about how the season went. Once again, good season. The team, probably on paper the best team in the state.
One district.
Yeah, one district again. Or not again, sorry, one district for the, I think, third time in 4 years. Made a nice run in the playoffs, beating SLU and Eureka, and also, Kirkwood in districts. But unfortunately, the team that beat us in football also beat us in soccer, Jackson. Oh my God, we played so good that game. If you were there and watching it, you saw how much we dominated and like how much we should have won that game, but Jackson had every single.
Give it to Jackson. I mean, Jackson has become a sneaky rival of Chaminade.
No, for sure, yeah.
I'm on the golf team. In our last golf state championship we had sophomore year, we got second to Jackson by 2 strokes. They upset us in soccer this year, and then they kill us in football. I mean, they're got to become a sneaky rival right now of Chaminade.
I mean, yeah, obviously give them credit. They knew how to play against our team, and the way they played got them the win. They got that one breakaway and took advantage of it. So yeah, I mean, got to give credit where credit's due. It's just it's sad seeing that happen, though. I mean, this group of seniors was such a good group of guys, and it was awesome getting to be a part of the team and seeing that happen.
Yeah, it was, and we're so proud of them too. But all of our fall sports teams, and then obviously Conrad Hogenkamp for cross country this year got all Metro third team as well. So had a lot of really great success in the fall sports. But now we are in the middle of the winter sports season. So the number one thing at Chaminade, the thing you think of when you think of Chaminade, is our basketball team, CCP basketball.
CCP basketball, Nike elite school, always one of, everyone wants to beat Chaminade in basketball. Everyone wants to beat us.
I mean, when you have guys like Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, two of the, literally the most elite players in the NBA.
Bradley Beal leading the league in points right now.
Yeah, Bradley's league in points. Jason's top 7. Yeah. I mean, these guys are unreal. Huge contracts for both of them as well. So it's just so cool.
And shout out to Bradley Beal. Thank you for donating that money for the new stadium. We're all looking forward to it, seeing it over here.
Yeah, I mean, they're both young, but these are great guys, Jason and Bradley, as they are really just great guys off the court and big in the community as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, exactly. And, the team this year, don't overlook the guys on the team this year. You got Terrace Reed, who's a top 100 player, has offers from any school you can think of. Damian Mayo, just as good, just as big of an impact player. And then you got guys like Nate Schroeder, Brian Ward,
Brian Ward. I mean, just Philip Sinabad, new junior. He's actually from Serbia, which is really cool. But, we have the team this year is young. Only one senior on the team, but these guys are legit.
And also don't forget about the super sophomore, Nilavon Daniels, who in the last game that Chaminade played had to have, 8 offensive rebounds?
I mean, let me tell you, Kevin, that kid
oh my gosh,
is the most underrated player on our team. I mean, every single night that we're there announcing the game, I mean, he is all over the floor. He is so good on the defensive side. He gets so many scrappy rebounds, and he's a sneaky good shooter, too.
No, he is. I mean, the very first game I remember, I saw he was starting, and I was confused because he didn't get a lot of playing time last year. So I see that he's starting, and I think it was one of the very first plays of the game, he drains a 3. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. And then he hits another. And then you see him on the defensive end. He's scrappy. He's going for offensive rebounds. He's getting in players' faces. He might be one of the scrappiest players on the court. I mean, if there's a ball on the ground, he's diving for it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool seeing him out there too.
And it was sweet too it was sweet to beat DeSmet this past.
That was awesome.
When was that? Was that on?
I think it was
Thursday night.
I think it was Thursday.
Yeah, Who cares when it was?
Yeah,
that was sweet to get the win just about a week ago against DeSmet after the last 2 years, falling last season and then losing on a half quarter the season before.
I remember that game. That was one of the saddest things ever. And what made it worse is that it was on SportsCenter Top 10.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awful.
It was actually really cool to see.
But
you never want to lose a game like that.
Wanted it to be our team. But yeah, the basketball team. What are they? Ranked second, I think, in the state, right behind CBC.
Yeah.
Who we play Friday, by the way.
CBC Friday after just beating DeSmet 73-60 on January 7th.
Yeah, and Terrace averaging 20 points a game, along with I think it's 11 or 12 rebounds.
Yeah.
Damian 15, 6 and 4.
Yeah, I mean and just one thing going forward that we gotta remember is it's a lot. They're all young. I mean, a lot of young players, a lot of sophomores, juniors, and while they may not have the state experience necessarily, I mean, they seem to be playing really good down the stretch in games. Like against the Smet, they closed it out in good fashion. So that's nice to see. And the Vashon game obviously played hard at the end too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, defensive battle out there.
I think that's the thing that people forget is how young this team is. Obviously we're already playing miles above most of the teams in the state. And then when you take into account, once these guys get 10 games under their belt, more experience. So some of these guys like, Daniels, obviously, who hasn't played a lot, now he's starting to play. Once this team plays a lot more and, is together and builds up that chemistry, they're going to be 10 times better than they are right now.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
completely agree, and the 2 players you got to watch out for if you're any opposing team are that super duo of the juniors, Damian Mayo and Terrace Reed. I mean, they are so lethal, and everything they do is Damian seems like he can score at will, and Terrace gets about 20 rebounds a game. So
it seems like that at least.
Yeah, and then Mayo could throw down like we saw the other night. Is that dunk he had against? Who was that against?
That was against DeSmet.
That was against.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it was against DeSmet.
He drove baseline and just.
Yeah, he had that thing on Ball's Life. It's got about 10,000 views too, which is sweet.
Yeah, I think that Chaminade, the basketball team, has struggled with this year. That I think we can be critical on is the free throw shooting and the foul trouble. Early in the games, especially last game, we had 7 fouls 3 minutes into the third quarter. And guys like guys like Harris and Damien are normally getting into foul trouble early. Once again, that's something that it'll improve on as you play more. But that's something that definitely needs to be improved on.
Yeah, Terrace fouling out last game, and Jimmy Lansing coming in for him, getting in foul trouble as well. Just it seems like every game there's been some foul trouble for Chaminade, which you can't really have your star players getting in foul trouble down the stretch like that in big MCC games and games that mean even more than that later down the line. But, I mean, basketball season's going to be fun. Tune in at CSPN whenever they're playing. Check Twitter. You'll know when the games are. We've got a lot of good games coming up. You'll hear Kevin and I announcing the games. So, yeah, we're excited to keep it going.
Yeah, I think Cooper, unless you have something else that you want to cover.
We have 40 days till spring sports. They're coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. We got big spring sports. Watch out for the golf team this year. We're going to be lethal.
Rugby started today.
Practice. Lacrosse is starting to get going. And right now in full swing, too, is the hockey season. As the hockey team did just lose last night to CBC 6-3. But, we're about getting into the playoffs here for winter sports.
We are getting into the heart of it. I think fall sports are like probably the best because you got soccer, football, but then winter is also so much fun. You got hockey and basketball, and then spring, can't go wrong with baseball and golf. Oh, also, we can acknowledge baseball real quick. Jack Weber going to SLU next year to pitch.
Yeah, committed.
That's pretty
there.
cool.
Full ride, awesome to hear. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Tune in to CSPN for any broadcast of hockey, basketball, any sport going on right now. You can watch JV, freshman, middle school games on CSPN if you have kids playing, or if you want to watch your friends play if you're at Chaminade. So yeah, tune in next week and we will be back for another podcast.
Yeah, and also one more thing. Please give us feedback on this. Let us know if you liked it or not. Let us know if there's something you think we should improve on. We're open for critics, and also I think we're both aiming to have guests on.
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna try to get some guests on. Just talk about things, just short interviews, but talk about recent games. Get like day after a basketball game or something. Get Mayo or Terrace on here. Get their take on it, or anybody. So
yeah. So I think that pretty much does it. Once again, I'm Kevin Kuehl.
I'm Cooper Benedict. Thank you for tuning in, and we're heading out.
I think right now, yeah. Thank you guys. All right, how long was that?